Some hackers working for Lumin sneak into one of George's space stations. Systems, as they're called. They make their way to a computer that connects them to all robotic and cybernetic information from Sir Clayton's departments. Sir Clayton gets an alert, and George approves his request to destroy the system, thinking that Shang is behind the hack, as Shang is currently in charge of that system. Shang notices a lot of systems being shut down and breaking communication with theirs. He calls Erdy in to give him a task. Erdy enters the command room and greets Gadian. Shang points out the galaxy map showing the comm failures. He gives Erdy a seed and asks him what he sees in it. Erdy touches the top of the seed and it opens up, revealing the time stream. Erdy immediately leaves the system in his ship. Gadian gets a call from George and returns to Mesa. Sir Clayton flies in with his androids and their fighters and destroys the system with Shang still inside. Shang, floating in space, fails to hold his shell of a body together and falls apart, returning to the dead world. Erdy tells Golu over subspace that he needs him to gather his team for a very important fight that is soon to come. Cage and Blaster are talking and getting to know one another at a cafe, but are interrupted by Golu calling them back. Dorm, also at the cafe, sees Golu, who he heard survived an encounter with Froster, and asks to join him, to which Golu agrees. Dorm was looking for Golu. He was going to train at his dojo, but Golu's been off doing a bunch of stuff. So seeing him here was quite the shock. And he's like, please let me join your dojo. And Golu's like, we're kind of in the middle. Yeah, sure. It's my fault for not being there. Anyway, Erdy seeks the help of others, including a geek, who are the little guys with the but the geek refuses to join him and yet follows him back to his ship. And he goes to recruit Vega, one of the warriors from the far, far past. In their conversation, Vega predicts Erdy's every word, cleverly trying to deny offering him help until he feels a large spike of power erupt and die out in an instant. Vega agrees to go with Erdy, thinking that Erdy cannot do this without his help. While Erdy is talking to Vega, the geek, who had snuck aboard his ship, opens the seed and tries to read the time stream, but he can't understand what he is saying. Cut to Lumin. Lumin takes on George's new training course and makes short work of it, applying new skills that George records. After Lumin's training, he uses a wish to summon the Starshifters to the Usurper, George's best ship that they're currently flying on. Also, during the training that Lumin's just making short work of, George is pretty angry that Lumin's doing stuff that George has never seen before, like the death scythe. He could just pull out of his hand for some reason. Like, where did that come from? uh, so Lumin makes the wish. George calls Lumin to join him in the command room. Confronts Lumin and asks him to join him in the command room. George tells Lumin that he knows what's been going on and that Lumin needs to stop. He's only giving him this one simple warning. But while they're doing this, the starshifters can be seen in the window leading out to space from the command room, approaching the usurper. And I'm going to end this on part 1. Please join me on part 2, where hopefully I'll be able to finish this. I think Luminair Revenge is going to be, since it already was a part 1 and a part 2 on Luminair Revenge, this seemed like the better place to stop and then continue the carnage on part 2. The original went on a little bit further into some action and stuff, but then anyway, you'll see the rest on the next one. Oh, some pretty cool stuff's about to happen.